Welcome. My name is Dan Smith, and today we are rejoined by Rob Talbot, the Executive Director of Josiah White's Quakerdale Foundation. Welcome back, Rob.
I'm glad to be here. Glad to spend some more time together.
Yeah. Previously, you walked us through a brief history and an overview of the Quakerdale Foundation. You shared with us that your mission is to provide hope, faith, and growth in families and communities, and that you're accomplishing this by four things: providing facilities, awarding grants, growing dynamic leaders, and providing trainings in fundraising and communication. Today, I'd like to go just a little bit deeper and explore providing facilities. First of all, how many facilities do you have? Where are they located, and how are they being used?
Well, we've got a campus in Waterloo, Iowa. We've got a campus in Marshalltown, and we've got a campus in New Providence, Iowa. The Waterloo campus is serving several different organizations, almost completely full. All the buildings are almost all being used right now. And then the campus in Marshalltown is a ranch. It's a 37-acre ranch. And there they provide equine assisted learning services as well as various horse things, and they also do therapy. So that's a busy place there in outside of Marshalltown. Then our campus in New Providence, it was the home to the Promise Academy and Promise Quakerdale basketball program. Those programs are no longer operating, and so it's an open campus. It's really something that we're excited about, to see who's going to be coming to be able to use that for their mission ministry work.
So you've got facilities in three different communities: Waterloo, New Providence, and Marshalltown. It sounds like you've got a pretty diverse group of people that are using those things. It's not just a single focus. Is that right?
Yeah. So I think just shooting from my small memory here, I'd say we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 organizations operating in Waterloo, and we've got 2 operating in Marshalltown. And then we don't have any program services happening in New Providence, but Quakerdale Business Services does operate there as well, not to run a program for kids or families, but doing what they do to support nonprofits.
Okay. And I believe the New Providence campus is also your headquarters. Is that right?
Yes, that's where it all began. Actually, when we moved to the Central Iowa location, that's where we've been ever since.
So why would an organization want to use one of your facilities rather than either buying, renting, or building one of their own?
Well, every organization is different, and they're in different stages of an organization. So a lot of times what we find is somebody's got an idea, they want to get something going. They haven't really got a long track record. So it's a nice place to come and say, I need to maybe just start with an office, a place where I can work out of that's not in my home or not someplace else. And then often if we have the right amount of space, then they could move into actually running programs and things on our campus. The main reason an organization would probably use us is, a big reason would be is they don't have the resources to, buy their own space or even lease or rent a space like that, because it's just nonprofits have a small margin. They often are just hoping that people will continue to support them so that they can provide their service. And so when we can provide a place for them that's affordable, sometimes we might be willing to give a grant if they're a startup and we think that they're a very good match with us. But we also have sports groups, who need a place to have some activities during the wintertime that they'll do. There's all kinds of things that have happened through time, and we're just open to seeing what the next opportunity is.
Good. I would think one of the other advantages is the fact that you're not directly responsible for the majority of the infrastructure or the maintenance or of the facilities itself, I would imagine that that's probably taken care of by the foundation. Is that true?
Well, yes. I mean, as long normal wear and tear, just like it would be if you rented a home for your family in many ways, is taken care of by us. So as a, you know, if you're going to own a piece of property or that, you've got all those kinds of expenses as well. So this just makes it a lot easier for a place to organization to get going and operate.
Is there a specific example that you can show us of how an organization started out small and not the campus? They moved to a location that you're managing right now, and as a result, not only have they been able to kick it off, they've really flourished. Is there a particular example you can share with us along that line?
Well, I'm thinking about not repeating one that I've already talked about, but you know, there's been organizations that let me think about. I guess I'll just talk about the one that's the most obvious, and that's a children's program, a daycare program where they were operating in a small house. The roof was leaking, and they didn't really have any way to expand. The leader of the organization had a real mission mindset, a real mindset to help people for the Lord, but she was kind of stuck. So we were able to help her have a place to move into, expand her programs for kids and families, and she's probably, you know, helping over 150 kids a week now. So that's an example. There's also been the opportunities that happen maybe at the ranch where there was a program that was started to help with equine assisted therapy, but is then grown into horse boarding, different kinds of groups using it, as well as, you know, a great place for families to get together and do reunions and things like that. So it really is dependent upon the people involved, their creativity, and what they're, you know, what the Lord lays on their heart to do.
Sure. Now, I know you've got a fairly small staff. If I'm remembering right, there are two part-time or one part-time and two full-time. Surely you're not trying to take care of 3 different locations and managing the properties with just those people. How are you pulling that off?
Well, earlier I mentioned Quakerdale Business Services. Quakerdale Business Services is not a part of the foundation. They're one of the organizations we spun off. They were the group, you know, the department in Quakerdale that managed properties. They did the maintenance. They kept things up and running and going. They did all of our accounting and bookkeeping and human resources stuff. So we contract with Quakerdale Business Services to be our property manager, which allows them to continue to fulfill their mission and helping other organizations by earning some money that way, as well as takes the load off of us so the foundation can stay lean and you know, do a better job of focusing on what our main things are that take staff, you know. And so let the others specialize in what they do, and we'll specialize a little bit more in what we do.
So there really is this great supportive community that you've kind of created, or you're a part of. You're helping other ministries by providing them a place where they can grow and expand their ministry and providing these trainings and stuff. And then you have a need, so now you've got another ministry that's helping you with your needs. So it's kind of like a full circle.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think working in community is really what we're called to do, trying to find people who have the same values, the same aspirations, helping them be successful, and they, you know, they help us be successful.
You mentioned a little bit earlier that you've pretty much got the Waterloo campus is full. For sure the Marshalltown campus is full, but you've got some openings, I believe, that are happening on the New Providence campus. Can you tell us a little bit about what might be some of the opportunities for people to come and do ministry there? Give us a hint of what's available.
So we have a lot available in New Providence. First of all, there's 4 large cottages. We call them cottages, but they're not cottages. They're very large houses with probably close to 10,000 square foot each. So they've got 10 bedrooms plus an apartment attached on, and then a full basement below. So 4 of those are there. Then we've got a director's house, which is a 5-bedroom, 3-bath house. We've got an office building or an administration building. Again, that's where the foundation works out of, where Quaker Hill Business Services works out of, but there's much more space in that building. Then we've got a school building, basically, with a college-sized gym floor, basketball floor. And there we can put on volleyball tournaments, basketball tournaments, all kinds of things. We also have it's about a 30-acre campus. We have a maintenance building, which has also got a car lift in it and a full wood shop for opportunities to teach people or kids how to do some of those types of things. And just a lot of wide open spaces where, I guess a lot of times people are looking to be in the middle of the city. This campus is really designed to get out of the city and to be in a more rural type of setting where there's not many distractions. It's very quiet, very beautiful, very relaxing.
You mentioned a little bit about a school facility with the gymnasium. Are there other educational parts to that too, like maybe some classrooms and stuff as well?
Right. So the building has several classrooms, probably, I guess I'm going to say 5 or 6 classrooms, depending on how you would name them. Has a fitness room, a weight room, has a physical therapy room with a whirlpool in it. It also has a main office. It has a dining area, a commercial kitchen, all those kinds of things that a school would have. It's obviously not the size of a normal public school, but it's a nice sized building that I don't know. I don't know what God's got in store for it, but it's a great place.
Sure. And I would imagine there's probably a commons area and locker room as well.
Right. 2 locker rooms, girls and boys, and the commons, dining and everything.
And then being out in the middle of the country, there's probably plenty of places to park.
Yeah, and pastures and creeks to play in for the kids, all kinds of stuff like that.
That's awesome. If I was interested in checking out that facility and maybe possibly using it for my ministry, what would be my next step?
Yeah, the simplest way is just to contact the foundation office. I know the number will be available here at the end, but just contact us at the foundation, and you may get Quaker Hill Business Services when you call. It will help direct you to where you need to go, but we'll be glad to see if we've got something that could help you carry out your mission.
Well, that's awesome, Rob. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
You bet.
If you have any questions, or if you'd like to learn more about the facilities that are provided by the Quaker Hill Foundation, their contact information is right here on the screen, or you can look at the description of this recording and find it there. In the meantime, let's get out there and serve as Christ serves.